All right.
Rob, do those Big Daddy's shirts have a little stretch to them or no stretch?
No stretch whatsoever.
Oh,
a lot of polyester.
No, my kid just came out. Either. My kid just came out and opened her door, and the sound machine is going.
The Miami sound machine.
Oh, Miami sound machine.
Oh, Rob's wearing the briefs.
Rob doesn't have pants on.
Rob's in the briefs.
Don't you hate pants?
It's like nobody.
Maybe do that conga. No,
it's like nobody cares about audio fidelity anymore. All right. In 2020, 4 friends decided to listen to every one of the greatest 500 albums as decided by Rolling Stone magazine. This resulted in a text chain that celebrated the music, excoriated the order, and led us to making this podcast. We are far from experts, and we promise to do almost no research. All opinions are our own, unless you disagree. Please sit back and enjoy. Beck did it better. We are all the way up to album 144. I Love Yours. Doesn't work as well. 144. I love
Zeus.
I love Zeus. Yes,
Zeus?
Aaron.
Like the wrestler?
With a glove save and a butte. Oh, it's going to overtime, folks. Aaron just saved the whole day. Nice save, Aaron. I loved it. Forgot what were we talking about? All right. So we're up to album 144, and from 1975, it's Physical Graffiti from 1975. Guys, I had a Physical Graffiti once. I thought.
Yeah.
And you'll never believe what it was. I go into this hospital, right? And on the door, it says, Arrivederci. I was like, what?
Okay.
And I go up to my doctor, and he goes, oh, it's a Mario. It turns out I was getting a physical grazie. A free physical. Hey, it's a physical grazie.
Grazie.
All right.
Fresh pepper, safe win. Grazie.
When the doctor's like, I'm going to trample on your nuts underfoot. And I was like, well, that's close. That makes the joke almost work. All right, so.
I think so.
I was like, well, the doctor shouldn't do that. Let's get right into the song. Why not? Okay, maybe some people are having trouble seeing what's going on. Let's get right into this song. No, would you even guess, is this song about old ladies or bras? Which one do you think it is? Let's go this one. What's up, everybody? Welcome to K-Rob. K-R-O-B. Today, Rob's got the ball. He's on the 30, the 40, the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. Folks, he looks like he's going in. Oh, there's a fumble. Oh, yeah.
No. Well, I just want to see some boobies. And now I take a grasp. And bras are brand new to me, and I can't undo this class.
And then do this class.
7, that's a long.
Who didn't fumble with a bra listening to this song? You know what I mean? This is an ultimate bra fumbler song.
The bra
bras. When this song was out, bras were a huge mystery.
Well, now this is a classic fumble. It's stuck on there real good. Can you just take it off for me? This ball is so complicated.
That's quite a rhyme. That's quite a rhyme.
You know you're a bra fumbler when you say, can it just go up? Like, can you just, like we're taking off a uniform at the end of the game. With the bra up.
What would happen if we just Google bra fumbler?
Now I'm giving up. Let's put back on your shirt.
Whoa.
It would be so much simpler.
Said nobody never.
If the bras were just reversed.
Reverse the bras. Why not? Reverse them. There's hooks, there's loops, but it's not Velcro. Why don't they just make it Velcro? It'd be so much easier. You're like, wait, I almost got it.
Well, I've talked to the other guys, and we all agree. Bras are hard, we never know how they come out correctly. We don't know.
Listen, you thought it was embarrassing singing a song last week about mutual masturbation in front of your kids' bedrooms? Wait until you sing a song about taking off bras.
2 things about your song, Rob.
I got the perfect podcast for you, Jack.
Is there a better word than boobies? Just make you laugh every time you say boobies.
Yeah, no,
Never
and
fails.
it rhymes with quite a bit. That was actually the
Funny
first
every
line in
time.
my head.
And did part of your song? Was it that you were so frustrated you just told the other person, guy, gal, whoever, just to put their shirt back
Put
on?
your shirt back on. Yeah,
Has anybody
it's over.
has any of us ever
That's not the answer.
just said, why don't you just put your shirt back
That's
on?
not the
I just
answer.
don't think that. I don't think that's ever come out of
I
anybody.
feel like a lot of kids did to me younger when I was at the pool, but I think now maybe nobody actually cared, and I just wanted to have my shirt on. 1 second, the dog guys. I thought I had this under control.
Do you think are those boxers? Are they briefs? Are they
We've had
tighty
this
whities? What was the cut on those?
We've had this conversation before where Rob claimed these were not tighty whities, and we all disagreed with it.
Well, they're like
Boxer briefs that are ultra tight.
They're like orangies. They're not tighty whities. They're
orangey
yeah.
porngies.
Orangies.
I was listening to last week's episode, and it did make me want to listen to that Bryan Adams song a bunch, though, Aaron.
Oh,
the fact that you had sung that as a wedding. So I did put that song onto the soundboard here. So let's just listen to that real quick.
This doesn't sound like the original.
Yeah, something's different. Something's different.
No, nothing's different.
No, this is it.
Weird piano
Except
or
it's
something.
Fair use. I've talked to other guys, and we agree bras are tough to take off correctly. I know it comes apart, but I don't know.
This is right on.
I can't figure out how this whole bra things go.
Right. So
You can't tell me you weren't bumbling. I know that you did some bra fumbling. I know it's true. I haven't got a clue. Bras are hard to undo. If you notice, the first verse of that song and the last verse of the Led Zeppelin song were exactly the same. And that's because on my parody song notes thing I had, I just kept singing until I realized I was accidentally singing the Bryan Adams song to the Led Zeppelin parody song. So
it all worked out.
A little mix up there. Listen, I've got 4 guys here who want to talk about Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin, and they love the instrumentals. It was one of their favorite parts. I've got Matt in Minneapolis. Matt, how are you doing?
Good, Rob. If you feel like you can't go on, if your will's sinking low, just believe that at some point this evening, this podcast will end and we can all go to bed.
I don't know.
It's going to happen.
By the looks of it, we've almost got introductions 10 minutes in. I've got Russell in Minnesota. Russell, how are you doing?
Rob, I'm greased up and I'm slicked down fine. I'm wearing your favorite groovy leather trim. I like the way you hold my road right down the line. Rob, it ain't no sin.
Do you think is it just me, or did a bunch of guys around this time want to have sex with a car? Like so many of these bands are like, I got a car.
I think isn't that how like Grease came to be? Like the whole
I think it is. It's like, oh, if I could have sex with my car's trunk, oh, that'd be so great.
Little do they know we had a whole episode about a car that would jerk you off, right, Rob?
Listen, you know you'd buy it. Everyone would buy it. Oh, let me see. Am I going to play this pinball game for 25 cents? Or am I going to play this pinball game for $50? All right.
Rob, how awkward it would be like if you bought the jerk off car and then like you had to go like pick someone up in it and they knew like it's apparent it's a jerk off car. It's not like a normal Ford, right? Like there's got to be an emblem on it or something where people know you've bought the jerk off car,
like
right?
you got to pick your in-laws up from the airport. Like, just tuck in. Like, don't worry about
father-in-law's just hitting buttons. And you're like, hey, no, don't touch that one. Don't touch that one. No.
Wait, touch that one again.
Aaron's father-in-law gets to the house and Aaron's out there like rubbing down the car, like polishing every bit of it. And he sees how do you come back from that?
You can't.
I gotta admit. Let me think. Getting jerked off in front of my in-laws, would that be awkward? Yeah, I think it would be. You're right, Russell. I agree with you. I will say, though, we did agree that the car has purple lights that are going on if you're driving and getting jerked off at the same time. So people behind you know that you are getting jerked off in the car. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, Aaron in California, I got Aaron. Now, Aaron recently, guys, you don't know this, but Aaron was recently on a plane. And I heard about this story. And the pilot came on the intercom And I'm going to put this in intercom sound again. So he goes, just to let everybody know, we are cruising at over 30,000 feet. And Aaron goes, ugh, I just creamed my jeans. 30,000 feet.
God, I try so hard not to laugh at these things. Hey, Rob,
funny.
Put on your nightshirt.
Yeah.
Put on your nightshirt. Let's talk about Led Zeppelin Physical Graffiti.
Now, listen, Matt's not happy because I'm back to the feet thing, but you got to admit, the idea of a foot fetish guy who doesn't care what the feet look like, he just likes quantity.
Just 30,000
like that's his thing. He's like, oh my God, there's so many feet.
And he's staring at the monitor where it shows like your distance from the next thing, and it shows you going up for like 12,000 feet, 13,000 feet, 14,000 feet,
This is
15,000 feet.
How many feet are we talking here?
Yeah, a lot of feet.
Listen, guys, let's get into the voicemail. Now, listen, remember the other week I said that we have lots of voicemails, and turns out that didn't last as long as I thought. Turns out it was not a trend. So please call in 802-277-BECK, 802-277-BECK, and tell us something that will maybe lead to a conversation. Please.
Where you think you're going, baby? Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me.
On the Beck line, 802-277-BECK. Gets me every time. 277-2325. It really does. It gets me.
Hello, everyone. It is Claire the Square, Russ's cousin, calling in again.
Nice to hear
Been
from you.
loving all of the episodes, and
Claire the Square.
I saw something in the news the other day that made me think of all of you. So, the guitar that was used and played in the Hot for Teacher music video sold for $3.9 million. Of course, I instantly thought of Rob, but that also led me to wonder if each of you could have a piece of music memorabilia, what would you most want as your artifact?
Music memorabilia, huh?
Yeah. I would say two Rolling Stones. I would say two Rolling Stones shirts. That's what I want the most. And I would pay any price for those two shirts.
Over
it wouldn't matter to me.
130? Over or under 130, Rob?
I would never complain about how much I paid because for me, the experience is the juice.
Hey, I think you know what? I bet somebody would sell you some for $150 right now, Rob. Get you out pretty easy.
Oh, okay. What sizes?
But I would like to know what each of us would get for the other three. That's the real question.
Oh.
If you're out shopping, what would you
Can I
get
go
for the other
first?
three? Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to speak for what I don't know what I would get for Matt or Rob, but I know what I would get for Aaron without question. I don't know if this would be considered memorabilia or if this is considered an album, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Wu-Tang Clan has recorded one record or one album that was bought by this big hedge fund guy who went bankrupt, had a bunch of fraud issues or whatever, and now
It's pretty cool, though.
So my understanding is there's this one Wu-Tang album out there that's been recorded. I don't even know if anyone's ever heard it, but the one guy owned it. And now I think it's in literally like a container at the government because he's going through like bankruptcy or whatever. And literally, I don't know if anyone will ever hear this, but if I could get Aaron the one Wu-Tang album where no one has ever heard it, I think that would be the first thing I would get for Aaron. But maybe that's an album, not
That's marvelous.
a memorabilia.
That counts. That counts.
I would get, Matt, we'll all do Aaron now. I would get Aaron probably the glove from Michael Jackson. Because he'd be like, wow, this is pretty cool to have, but I cannot show anybody that I have this.
You guys are so generous.
So I would make his life a living hell having to have that. Matt, what do you think?
I would get, and it's probably in line with what I would get for myself, but different artists. But I think it'd be unbelievably cool to get Aaron like the handwritten notes to one of John Lennon's songs, or like his, some sort of lyrical sheet that he could put on the wall. He could frame it and put on the wall. So either that or some other artist that he likes. But
you see it and it's like Obla Di, Obla Doi, and it's crossed out. And it's like, question mark, question mark.
You guys are too kind. All right, well, I'm going to start with Russell then. I'm going to start off on Russell. Russell would get a full Johnny Cash Man in Black, head to toe, whatever Johnny Cash was wearing for any particular concert. Russell gets the full suit, whatever it was, for like a TV special, something like that.
I will say, Aaron, this is just a warning for my rolling going. I may have had to throw out some costumes recently. So maybe clothing that I can't wear or wouldn't be using might not be the best thing right now.
He's like, He's like, this ball gag doesn't even restrict me. Has my mouth gotten bigger? Is that something that happens when you get older? My mouth is too big for the ball gag?
All right. Then maybe some of those tapes from Johnny Cash's personal file, like the
I love
actual
anything Johnny
recorded
Cash
tapes.
would be
That's what I'm thinking.
I love
Matt,
it.
what would you get, Russ?
I think, instantly I just went to like, not so much 80s hair or metal band, but something Metallica, like maybe a guitar played by James Hetfield or something like that. Or something along those lines, or Guns N' Roses, something that he would like out of one of those bands. That
A Slash hat.
Oh,
You could get him a
hat that
Slash
he could wear
hat.
to the bar. There you go.
Yes,
Ooh,
or a
Slash
snake.
hat would be good.
One of his
you-
snakes.
Could you imagine all the gilfs I could pick up with a Slash hat?
Oh my God. Excuse me, are you Mystique? No, you're Russ. Was Mystique one of the guys that wrote that book you love, Russ? Wasn't that by Mystique? That
The art of the pickup or whatever. That one? The Secret Society of Pickup Artists.
yes.
The game, or whatever it was called.
The game. That it is.
There it is. Or whatever. We don't know what it's called.
I know you guys are thinking for Matt, I know you're thinking Pearl Jam, but I would actually skip the Pearl Jam for Matt. I would get him a full, whatever the top of the line synth is right now. I would get one of those for Matt. Anything that's been played by one of the bands that he's been into lately, just the full 80s, like something that like Kate Bush played on, or any of those people, something he could like really take home and get some sounds going.
Something by The Cure, maybe. Yeah.
I feel like
yeah.
I could develop a room for Matt that is yacht rock, where you just go into the room and it's just yacht rock. There's yacht rock playing, but at the same time, there's like a chair that would make like it's almost like you're on a boat. It would be like you're listening to yacht rock on a yacht. You would have like little portholes instead of windows. And instead of your normal bathroom, it'd be a little bathroom that always smells bad, just like on a boat. It would be awesome. And then you're like, wait, did I pay like tens of thousands of dollars to come on this boat? And the beds are all bad and the toilets smell, but we can't say anything because we paid so much money for it. God, that's so weird. This is such a great vacation. I love my family.
It's like Triangle of Sadness.
Yeah, except I can also catch the fish. Okay, so they would actually still have to listen to me. They would still have to listen to what I say.
You watched it. Oh, it's wonderful, Rob. Good movie.
Or what would you get, Russell, for Matt?
You know what? You said we were staying away from the Pearl Jam stuff. I would have to find, a guitar or something that they used when they played at Wrigley Field. I feel like Matt's a baseball guy. Matt's a Pearl Jam guy. And Matt, you went to one of those, right?
I was, they played in 13, wasn't there, but in 16 and 18, I was there. So
I would say from what I know of Matt's interests, those would be two of them. And if I could combine them and get like the guitar that Vedder uses or something from the concert at Wrigley Field, I would say something like that.
that'd be a good one.
I was just leaving the Pearl Jam stuff for you all. I didn't want to take it.
I would get Rob, if money was no object, I would get Rob from
I like where this is going.
Sir Mix-a-Lots. I like big butts. I would get the two big butts that they're dancing on, the mounds from the set, so that he could have that, just so he could go dance on the butt.
That's unbeaten. You can't beat it. So I'm still, if I'm getting Rob a piece of music memorabilia, it is Stevie's whatever that. I guess I'm getting synths for everyone.
The computer.
Whatever the computer for songs in the key of life. That's what Rob gets from me.
Yes.
Think of all the sounds you could make on this soundboard for that.
Oh my God, it'd be so great.
All day long.
Be like mutual masturbation. You mutual masturbation. Mutual masturbation. Russell, what would you give me?
I thought I already got you something.
What'd you give me?
Oh, I think I would get you. I'd get you. Did we already talk about the Mariah Carey, the red snowsuit?
Yeah, I'll
That's
take
all
it.
we talk about every time.
I'll take it.
I'll get you that.
It's hot. Okay.
Wait, is Russell wearing it, or it's just you giving it to Rob?
He can take it out when his family's not around, when his in-laws aren't around.
Yeah, Russell's wearing it. That's part of it. I'm on the snowmobile. Russell's wearing it.
Ass cheeks just poking out the bottom of it.
God.
That's what I remember. That's in my head. That's a core memory that turned out to be false when I watched it with you guys. Awkward. Makes me think a lot of searches I'm doing on Bing lately are not worth my time. Like vaguely remembering movies from like when I was 12. I'm like, okay. Could switch bodies with woman at auto shop. Like,
I might get him the sex doll that was in the Tom Petty Last Dance with Mary Jane video.
What was that doll's name? I can't remember.
What was that doll's name? God, I cannot remember. I just want to say it though. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Russell's like, what would... Did we do Russell already? Yeah, because I did.
Yeah, we did Russell, yeah.
All right, listen, let's get out of here. Let's get into rolling going.
It's time to see what everybody's up to. It's time for...
You know what I would get Russell? I would actually get Russell some sort of season tickets to like small town theaters for everywhere in Minnesota. So if he ever sees a show that he wants to go to where it's like, hey, here's a story about like, you know, think of a single singer, Rob, that Russ would go to. I want to say Buddy Holly, but you already did that one.
Phoebe Bridgers.
Little Richard. There's a Little Richard musical, and Russ wants to go. Yeah, and it's in like Sheldon or whatever. Like you get to go now and you get to see it. It'd be great. Rolling going. Aaron, how's it going with you?
Oh, it's going great. I was going to say you don't want to join the protesters out in front of that Little Richard musical. You want to actually go in and see it. Things are good. I've been listening to the new Billy Woods album. I really like it. Billy Woods, also a member of the rap group. I think they're called Arm & Hammer, but I really like his stuff. He raps he raps both about mezcal Negronis and being in a Costco in the Midwest. So just pretty much everything about him I'm really enjoying. So that's, I like his...
Does he have a verse where you ask your wife to get a sample even though you know she's not going to eat it so you could have twice as much samples?
Oh, no, I've not heard that yet, but that would be a good verse.
It writes itself, really.
He raps a lot about food and I love food raps. Like Action Bronson's food rap's pretty good. Ghost, anytime Ghost is rapping about food, like baked macaroni, turkey wings, like, you know, anytime Ghost rapping about food, I like that.
I like the chicken rap.
Man,
chicken wrap.
Listen, no, see, you hit on the other thing. I've ordered wraps a couple times recently. I bought some wraps recently, Rob. And the thing about wraps is like, there's that spot in the wrap where you get to the corner where it's all tortilla. And like, if you bought the wrap from it's on you. Like if you bought the wrap from the refrigerated case, you already know you're going to get some cold tortilla. And like, that's okay if there's enough sauce otherwise. But you get to that one corner and it's just like quadruple folded tortilla.
Yep.
And then
and what if it got wet somehow?
Yeah.
I mean, a little wet tortilla? No thanks.
Right.
Don't need it.
Right, because like there's too much lettuce in there. Yeah. And then it's on you. You're like, I knew when I bought this wrap I was gonna. But what happens? Do I eat it anyway? Yeah, I eat it anyway. You took me on a real dark path.
So what were you?
Rob.
You were talking about rappers or something?
I was talking about Billy Woods rapping about food. He's a great food rapper. He also raps really specifically about weed strains. So he's rapping about Piff. Did you ever have this one, Rob? It was like huge in New York, I guess, but it was like too hard to get. I don't know. He's really into the weed strains. So I like the new Billy Woods. The other thing,
do you think weed strains are real things? Are weed strains real things?
To someone, they are. I mean, I guess,
right? Like,
sure. Like,
is it kind of like coffee? Like, is there really a difference in coffee?
Oh, Jesus. Yes. There's
that's crazy. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? That's an insane thing to say.
He's trying to light a fire over here.
Oh, is there really a difference or no?
Yes, 100%.
There's a huge difference.
Difference in where it was grown.
I could care less, right? I go in and I just say, look, give me whatever the darkest you got. Oh, we don't have any dark. Well, yeah, give me the medium, whatever. I don't care. It does not really matter. I just drown it out with creamer anyway. So.
Can I ask a question about you guys and your coffee?
Yeah.
So let's say you had a day where your coffee maker broke and you would like coffee a lot. So you haven't had any coffee in the day. How
so now we're calling our dates the coffee maker? What's going on?
How much would that set you sideways? Like if you haven't had coffee all day because your coffee maker broke and it's like 4 or 5 p.m., are you pissed? Or
you not
how does that impact your day?
Yeah, wait, what happened that you couldn't get some coffee somewhere?
Yeah, you go to the store and get some coffee.
You got the old SA right up the road there,
is there
Russell.
Another way to get some
you head
coffee
up there for 99 cents,
life?
get that, yeah.
Russell,
that
when you said 4 or 5, the time is 4 or 5, I honestly thought you were going to say the time was 10:30.
Okay,
I was like 10:30. I was like, oh my God, 10:30 without coffee? I couldn't even think about it. And then you said 4 or 5. I was like,
no. Let's say if 4 or 5 is probably wrong. Let's say it's noon.
Oh, way too late.
Your coffee maker's broken. So like,
Russell,
how does that impact your day? Are you upset?
Yes.
Are you frustrated?
Yes.
Where the
hell, Russell? Where have you been all day? Where
Yeah,
couldn't you deliver some coffee?
I need to carve out that 15 minutes to go outside, drive my car over to the nearest coffee shop, pick up a coffee, and come back.
Oh, I would totally be ordering Starbucks from my bike going across Manhattan. Like one hand on the ordering Starbucks, one hand on my bike.
Roll over, nudge Russell, get him out of bed, tell him to put his shoes on and go get me some coffee. Like that's what I would do in that situation.
So what if
can you find my car?
What if the morning your coffee maker didn't work, and then instead someone proposed, hey, we could just go to the coffee place right across the street. And then you go in there and it's at a grocery store, and you go in there and then it's fucking closed when you thought it was going to be open. How pissed would you be about that?
That's oof. You got to Google first to see what their hours are. Yeah.
You got your car at the grocery store, right? So you might as well just drive to the next grocery store.
That's happened to me. Here's when Jenny has stopped for coffee. So not only have I gone into a number of coffee places that she Googled that turned out to be in the middle of a mall that we had to like walk a mile to get to, or it's in a grocery store that of course it's closed. She has ordered coffee on the way out of the airport, Russell. The way out, you stop, you get your bags, and she says, stop, I'm going to get some coffee. I'm like, what are you doing? We are almost out of this hellscape that we have been in this whole time, and you want to get coffee right now? Now, of course, I say that internally to myself. Okay. But Russell, it's the most.
She's around. I'd be quiet.
There's it's the worst time to buy coffee. Like people are picking us up at the airport.
It really bothers you. You hit like noon and you haven't had, and it's a problem.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible.
It doesn't really bother me, but I do get a headache now if by like 2:00 if I haven't had caffeine in the morning.
I don't need it. I don't need it, Russell. To feel normal.
So Russell, you're blurring the lines between it bothers you or it bothers the person you live with. Like I'm okay without coffee until noon, but other people in my house are not okay without coffee until noon.
Aaron, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Yeah. Let's rewind.
I mean, by the time this comes out, I'm not sure. I'm okay until noon, but other people in my house are not okay until noon. But it
sounds like you got a specific situation you'd like to talk about.
Right? Yeah, Russell. Solve this problem. You can fix it.
You know what? I'm not a coffee drinker, so I was just curious if I've seen someone's reaction to not having coffee by noon. I was curious if that's how everyone's reaction is.
Yeah.
But what people really like, Russell, is people like it if you point that out. They're like, I've noticed your behavior is X, and I think it's because of Y. I find people love that. They think it's great.
I prefer to do it on a public forum like this podcast.
Well, that's enough coffee talk out of me. How's it rolling going with Matt?
That's enough.
Good. I am not coming with any new music this week, but the Current had a little bit of a pretty sweet thing going on. The Current 89.3, the Current, for all of our Chicago and Austin and all of our listeners across the country, it's the local, what is it, public? I mean, how do you describe it?
They're public radio, aren't they? Yeah, because they're
public radio, but it's not, it's like NPR or NPR where, it's user funded supported. And all that stuff. Yeah, user supported, all that. So they did a member drive campaign where they did the 893 best songs as voted by the listeners. I'm using my air quotes, best songs of the 90s. So they took essentially 8 days and started at 893 and worked all the way down to 1.
Sounds like a list, Matt.
Sounds like a little bit of a list. Oh, and I'm glad Rob's going to put in all of these songs. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, my God.
Just kidding.
Wait, aren't we just copying somebody else's list? This seems wrong to me. I know we do a lot of kind of maybe some stuff on here, or maybe it's like...
Now we're worried about copying
Now I'm kind of worried that we're copying somebody to take credit for.
So, Matt, when do you start listening to the list? Are you at like song 200, or when do you pick it up?
Oh, no, I mean, I was anytime I could, right? So I didn't listen to any podcasts. I wasn't listening to new albums, or, I just would put on the Current as much as I could. So I didn't catch a lot of it, right? But I probably heard maybe a fifth of the songs total, if I'm being honest.
But
I did try to listen to the top 10. When it was coming out, because it was the last day. It was like the top 100, and so then I was really I tuned in for sure on the top 10. So I figured, well, I'm going to go with number 11 only because I think 11 should have been in the top 10. But I'll just read them quick, and you guys can tell me what you think. So 11, Wonderwall. What's the Story? Morning Glory by Oasis.
There you go.
Good one.
Number 10, Maisie Starr, Fade Into You.
Oh,
do you guys know that one?
That's a fucking killer, yeah.
What?
That's a great song. You will know it when you hear it. It is absolutely. Look at that video. It's an absolute 90s. Here we go.
Oh, I know it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good call.
I don't even know the current. This sounds like it should be on the top 10 on this current list, though.
Yeah. Number 9, Criminal by Fiona Apple.
Oh,
Great
what?
song.
Somebody on our text chain, John from Owatonna, brought up, are you kidding me? How is this top 10? And you know,
How is it
Fiona
not?
Apple.
This one.
Yeah, Fiona Apple in the 90s was legendary.
Yeah.
So this is an absolute banger of a song.
Yep. This is a good
Number
one.
9, which I almost threw up, Losing My Religion by REM. And we've talked about this in past songs.
Yeah. It just.
Or
it's-
past albums, that Losing My Religion as a number, I'm scrolling up here because
Was this
Night
the-
Swimming was number 19. And
I was just gonna
absolutely
ask.
think Night Swimming, at least it was top 20, but it, you know, they could easily have swapped these two out.
Night Swimming. Way
You
better than
cannot
this song.
put Night
Way
Swimming
better.
ahead of Losing
Yes,
My
you
Religion
can.
on the list. Of best
Absolutely.
song. You
Night
can't.
Swimming is the
This
best song
song-
ever written
Listen,
by a white person. No
I
question.
get it's a good song, but it's not bigger than this song. No way.
Better.
Hey,
better.
do either of these REM songs reference Andy Kaufman in the wrestling match? I don't think so. Get the F out.
Number
Hard to argue.
And I was
that.
going to say, what about that REM song that's Placenta on the Floor? But that was REM.
It would be live.
Live.
It would be live.
It's like
that song's on this list
What if-
somewhere. We'll find. Number 7, Bittersweet
Thank you.
Symphony by The Verve.
Great
wait.
song.
You know, which is kind of, you know, a great song.
Okay.
I don't know, it's kind of just,
I'm not
I
sure,
totally
though.
forgot that this would be a top, you know, I totally forgot about this song that it would
Top
be
10
considered
song
a
of the
top 10,
90s?
It kind of
Yes.
gets credit because, like, it's how many other songs in the 90s used pulled in strings like that?
No, I'm telling you, great song that you got sick of and you hate now because you've heard it a million times. It's too good for its own good.
Wasn't it also in the end of the movie? What's the movie it was in? The one with Reese Witherspoon, Rob.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Cruel Intentions.
No, was it Cruel Intentions? Or who was the one with the pool where the two girls kiss in the pool? Wild
It wasn't
Things.
Reese.
Okay, never mind. I was thinking of Wild Things, like I do all the time.
Number 6,
Rob, if
Everlong
you
by the
would've-
Foo Fighters.
Rob, if you would have hung out with Aaron and I in college, you would have watched the 100 Greatest Sex Scenes and you would have known that was Wild Things.
You know, I don't. Foo Fighters, they absolutely deserve to have a song up here. You know, this song's pretty good, but
I
Yeah.
think
I don't know
my
if it-
favorite Foo Fighters song is Monkey Wrench, but I don't know if that's the best one.
mine was There Goes My Hero.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that, you know,
great one. Yeah.
that's pretty good. Number 5, my first album ever. No need to argue, but the song is Zombie by the Cranberries.
Love it.
Jeez, yeah, killer song.
You know, so absolutely a 90s
Yeah, this is an
staple.
awesome song.
Remade recently, but you know, I still think this is the better version.
I believe there's a UFC fighter, the Korean Zombie, who used this as his walkout music, and it fit pretty well for him.
Oh, such a great song.
Z Hambi. Number 4, the namesake of this podcast, Loser by Beck. And I was
Damn,
waiting. I
number
thought this would be a
4,
top
number
3.
4.
I really thought this would be a top. It made it number 4. But this is, I cannot tell you how much I love this song. And what this breaks me right back to 7th grade.
Right.
In the football locker room, Richfield Middle School. I can still
Yeah.
picture it.
And the first,
You know, this
first
was
time you ever
when I
saw the
heard this
video,
song.
yeah, all that stuff.
So great song. Number 3, which was a complete surprise to me because we were surprised. You know, we had a little text chain of what the number one song would be. But number 3, completely forgot about this song would be in the 90s top 10. But Sabotage by the Beastie Boys,
Ooh.
All right.
top 10, top.
But wait, so there's nothing from Dre and Snoop, but we've got Sabotage?
Yeah.
I'm not
yeah.
sure about that. I mean, I like this
Well,
song. I like this song,
think-
but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that none but
think about who's voting at the current.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
it's kind of like the Rolling Stone, you know, previous the album, you know,
Okay.
if that makes sense to you. So
Great song.
Is there
number
no,
2.
No Green Day in the top 10, though?
Nope. Number 2, and I'll come back a couple of these things, but number 2, which again was a complete surprise, but absolutely belongs at number 2. To me, it was a complete surprise. You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's
yep.
probably not a bigger album
That might
in the
be number
90s. I
one.
don't think we just covered that. I don't know how many.
Speaking of Alanis, I have acquired tickets to go, I believe, this August to see Alanis at the Orpheum, the Jagged Little Pill. I'm very excited
Hey,
for it.
can I give you my recommendation for seeing an Alanis show?
I'd love to hear about it, Rob.
I would sit in the back of the theater. That's my advice. Sit in the back. And if you're lucky, you can blow Dave Coulier. Hey, don't cut it out blowing me. That's what it would sound like if you were blowing Dave Coulier. Thank you.
That he did a Bullwinkle voice.
And I said it in the text chain. It was like a minus 400 at the time. You know, Smells Like Teen Spirit was number one on this list, and that kind of just was fairly obvious. So,
did you expect that?
I expected that. Yep, I expected that. Doo-Wop, That Thing by Lauryn Hill was number 17. Mr. Jones by Counting Crows, 15. I'm trying to just roll through a few of these here. Where It's At on Odelay was number 21. Closing Time, Semisonic, Minneapolis Zone.
How about
22.
any songs we've covered on the podcast recently, Matt, or not?
Well, you'll like this. At number 24, Paranoid Android from OK Computer by Radiohead. Closer by Nine Inch Nails. We did the Downward Spiral already, didn't we?
Yeah, right.
We did.
We did.
That was 25.
Yes.
You
of our
know,
best
there's a
episodes.
lot of Pearl Jam and
didn't November Rain have
Smashing
strings on it?
Pumpkins. What's that?
Didn't November Rain have strings on it? That's a better song than Bittersweet Symphony.
So
Yeah,
90s?
Basket Case
91,
by
right?
Green Day was 33. I think Basket Case should be at least a top 20, but that was number 33. Nothing But a G Thing by Snoop Dogg. That was 37. You know, I'm trying to just go through a few of these here.
Guys, I
7 by Prince was 40.
I really hate to interrupt, but nobody's going to talk about how I played OMZ, How Bizarre, instead of Smells Like Teen Spirit. I thought that was a great pull for a 90s
That's
song.
the best part of the joke. That's the best
can
part
you
of the
think-
joke, Rob.
Hey,
This-
Rob,
you don't have to-
Destination Unknown as I pull in for some gas. I know this one.
I mean,
Yes.
this is such a 90s song. There's only one song that's more 90s. Your list is flawed, Matt, because you know what should have been number one.
It's number 54.
I mean,
Shoot, I was going to say Tub Thumping, Chumbawamba was Chambawamba was 54.
guys, name another 90s song. I mean, this is it.
Glycerine. Where's Glycerine on the list?
Glycerine.
Man, I got to find
Jeez,
maybe
Glycerine's a
somebody
great song.
that album 16 Stones.
Early
Top
in
10
the
album.
morning.
Russ was interested in that list of 90s music too, but it wasn't for the same reasons. He was
Waterfalls number 80 by TLC. We brought that up a few times. So Vogue on Breathless 85 by Madonna. We just kind of went through that a little bit. Devil's Haircut, Beck 89. So yeah, it was quite fun to kind of count down with the 90s. And as we've said, we're all from the 90s, and so that's when we grew up. And so I think it was pretty fun to listen to. I don't know if I would be as excited to listen to the 80s or the 2000s. So it kind of hit home. So
Matt, were there any on the top 100 or so that jumped up there that you'd never heard of that you said, hey, this should be up here? I've never even heard this song, or did you not have any like that?
I was trying to find a couple of those, and it's like when you got to the top 100, everything made sense. Buddy Holly by Weezer, you know.
Ooh,
You know,
There's a Sarah McLachlan song, you know, so
it's so funny, Matt, because every song you're saying, literally, and I wonder why. I've been kind of introspectively been doing this, and I'm like, why is that? It's because I realize every song you're saying is like a vivid high school memory for me, like of what I think about when I hear that song. For example, Buddy Holly, I had that CD. I listen to it all the time. All I can think of when I hear that song is I was driving in a car with my date Gina, okay, who asked me to sweetheart dance, and she was attractive, and
did you fumble?
The parents are no. I did not fumble. I'll just leave it at that. The parents are giving us a ride to the dance, and I'm sitting in the back seat of the car listening to that song, and it's like such a vivid time of your life where you're like, yes, I'm on a date with a girl. Her parents are driving. All right. Oh, the parents are really loving driving this car. What are all those tubes doing up there? It's a jack-off car.
I don't know if we brought it up, but Rosie, did you ever listen to Arrested Development and the song Tennessee was number 90? I mean, that album was unbelievable. I challenge you to a game of horseshoes. A game of horseshoes. You know, I say it to my kids all the time. So we listen to that song. So
That's so funny because I say to my kids all the time, and I am still thirsty. And they're like, what? I'm like, I don't even know where to start to explain that to you.
Yeah. Lightning Crashes, number 76.
There's that song.
Finally, a song about placenta. It's my number one placenta song of all time.
Number one.
List of one.
Number one.
One of
You
one.
could say maybe Shake, Rattle, and Roll. If what I've seen of placenta would be a song about placenta, really. But I think live Lightning Crashes is more about placenta, I would
He's
say.
back.
Yeah.
He's back.
It's back. All right, Russell, rolling going. How's it going with you?
Rolling going. Things are going well. You guys had kind of alluded to something earlier. Well, I'm making a life decision coming up where we won't get into the details, but I'll just say I'm going to be having a new roommate.
Oh,
my God.
And as
Is
part
that-
of this,
There is what song am I going to play? I'm trying to think what this is. Because this is such a huge
The
part.
Pleasure Principal's wife finally kicked him out. He's moving back in.
I mean, is this what we want to play to this? Or
I was thinking
Like-
Fortuna or the Biggie skit. Oh,
yeah. But you know, on the other hand, it's like, because it's like,
maybe.
this is a major, this
what
is
kind
either,
of fuckery is this?
this is either one foot in the grave for this podcast. Because let's think about what we're losing out on. I want to remind
Rob,
you.
maybe you can listen to my question and then you can find out what song really fits what I'm going to ask you guys about.
I know, but Russell, you went on a date with a woman that spoke no English. We can't get that again. That's gone now. But on the other hand, Russell is going to be
Went on
sharing
a
his
date with
space
a
with somebody
pregnant
else.
chick. Don't forget the pregnant chick.
He's going to be sharing his little table at his computer with like one other person who's like, "Hey, move the mouse. I got to eat dinner." You know, I don't know what I like more. Oh, it's an embarrassment of riches.
The lady who didn't speak English, if you remember, we did use our translators on our phone. Remember, we would speak into the phone
Yep.
and then it would translate it.
I do recall.
All right. So anyways, as part of this ritual, if you will, of having a new roommate, I'm realizing there are certain things that I will not be able to bring with me to this place where I will have a new roommate. At some point, if you live somewhere long enough, you start collecting things, junk you don't need anymore. Maybe you don't need to keep that stuff. I thought I would share with you guys some of the things that I have gone through and had to decide, is this something I should keep or is this something that has to go? So I've got a number of things I was going to ask you guys. Should I keep these things or do they stay or do they go if I'm about to have a new
Should
roommate?
I stay or
All right,
should
all
I
right.
go now? All right. I like it.
The first one, and I sent you a few pictures of these, including Wreckx in Effect, LL Cool J, and Death Row's Greatest Hits. My old CDs. Aaron once before has said he got rid of CDs and he regretted
never get rid
it.
of them. Yes. Keep
What are
them.
you guys' thoughts on Matt, Rob? Do you guys have CDs or do you get rid of the old CDs?
Get him out. Get him out of there.
I think you got to get rid of them. I don't know. I've got these CDs. What do you do with them? You can't do
Buy a
anything
CD
with it.
player. You can get it back. I say keep
Man.
CDs.
Well, can
Bring it
I ask you? Are these CDs in a folder? Are they in a big ass black case Logic folder?
These CDs, some were in a folder, and a lot of them were in shoe boxes that were still in the case. I bet there was about 300 to 400 of them. I should say, Rob, there was 300 to 400. They gone.
Let's.
Oh, you did
let's
get
just
rid
say-
of them. Oh.
The vinyl has been kind of universally known as been like the best way to listen to a hard copy of music, right? I mean, am I saying that right, Rosie?
Yeah, I think
like
so.
it-
It's analog,
CDs.
so it's, yeah.
CDs came in, 8 tracks, they're gone. CDs came in and it was like smaller and they could fit more stuff on them. So that's why they became popular. But the sound quality was not what vinyl was. And so that's why vinyl has now surpassed CDs again and everything. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that physical media is not there anymore. So I just think that it's not coming back around. You know, vinyl came back around. I cannot imagine a time when CDs come back around.
No,
know.
but that doesn't mean you can't listen to your own that you love and that you may
They're
have.
your CDs.
Aaron, I had to get rid of Death Row's Greatest Hits, Wreckx in Effect, and LL
wow.
Cool J the same night.
Okay, so you know what? Right
Are you
now,
okay?
You can hold on to like 10, Russell.
this is
Are you
trending
all right?
for this right now,
Hey,
Russell.
I held on to one. I don't know where it's at, but I did not throw away one.
What's that?
It is from 2001. 600 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal.
Oh,
It is the recording of me, Aaron, and the Pleasure Principal when we had a radio show in college where I drank the gallon of milk on the air and projectile vomited while Aaron and the Pleasure Principal made comments.
Are we gonna release that on the Beck Did It Better? We
I don't
gotta
have a
release
CD
that.
player. I don't know how to play it.
No, we'll figure
We'll have to
it
mail
out.
it to
yeah.
Aaron.
We have a listener who can help. I'm sure there's a listener who will help with that.
In a similar vein, another thing that I haven't made a decision on, but they're sitting there staring me in the face. Hundreds of them. I got DVDs. Do you throw them away? Do you donate them? What do you do with
Toss.
DVDs?
Toss. Go. Who cares?
Keep 10. Keep 10 of
Yeah,
them.
you got to keep the important ones.
Keep 10 of them. Yep. Get rid of
anything director's cut, anything that's marginally obscure. You got to keep it because you don't know if it's ever going to go away.
Russell, I actually found something that you were going to throw away. It's the translator that you used with the date. Let's see what it happens if I
what does
push
it say?
play.
It is usually not this gray.
That's
I
What a
wish our
strange-
listeners could see how long Rob worked on that joke.
It was a while. The bad thing is that could apply to a lot of parts of it, which is not good.
So, Russell, you got to keep. Did you keep rounders and no brother?
I haven't done anything with the DVDs yet. But
So,
what's
you
the
gotta
point
keep
of
O
keeping
Brother and
10?
Rounders.
Why do you keep 10? What's the purpose, Matt?
It's like having books, right? Like, do you really need to have books? No, but you got a few books in your house, so people,
need
when they
books.
come over, they can kind of
You need
see what
books.
you're about, what are you into, things like that. So you got a few records out, you got a few books, you're gonna have a few DVDs, just so people know. When people come in and see that you've got rounders out there, oh, this guy, he goes to Vegas. He likes to gamble with life.
He'll be there in January
clearly he's
2024.
moving in. He's moving in out of the safety of a nice house.
You guys, just
in
for
with
a
somebody.
warning, I've got like a dozen of these. I don't have
Okay.
3.
Can I tell you, Russell, what I would do?
Yeah.
I would have your roommate do a boudoir photo shoot. That is what my wife did. And then I put those pictures onto those, what do you call the things you stick on the walls? Like the
fatheads?
No.
Oh no! Your wife in the boudoir photo.
Oh no! I'm gonna pass out. Oh no!
It's like there's Carl Slim Pickens' fathead, and there's my wife in the boudoir photo.
It's like here's my wife in a chair right next to Philip Rivers throwing a bomb. Oh my God! My wife's pregnant now. That's how virile Philip Rivers is.
Is that your wife or Rodney Hampton?
No, but I got it on those like little square things you stick. God, I can't even think what they're called now. And then they're up in the house, like so. It's a piece of art in her house, and the girls are mortified every time their friends come over because they go, "Oh, there's your mom in her underwear," and I'm like, "Still got it." So
Next
that's
thing
what I
on
would
the
do.
list: getting rid of old junk or things. Christmas decorations. Do you guys have Christmas decorations from trees you've had? Like, do you
Matt
just
just
keep
rough his
Christmas
headphones.
decorations forever? Do you ever have to? Do you ever have to consolidate and get rid of them, or do you just keep everything?
Eventually, you're going to have, your mom has probably passed down a few like
There you
key
go,
ornaments
Matt.
to you, right?
You're right.
So you've got a few key ornaments. Eventually, you get too many. So you got to hold on to the 10, 12, 20, whatever the number is.
Yeah, keep 'em.
But you don't need like that tinsel and those lights and the weird stocking or whatever. Get some new stuff.
Seems like
Look a
the
little.
theme is consolidate down to the ones you really like, is what you're saying, Matt.
When in doubt, throw it out. When in doubt, throw it out. Yeah.
And go
How about this one? School yearbooks from when you were a kid, like high school, middle school,
keep.
college.
Have
Those
to
are
keep. Have to
keepers,
keep.
yeah.
No question.
Yeah,
Have
those
to
are
keep.
keepers.
Yeah.
Russell, here's what I figured out. You can either do one or two of these. You go over, you drive right up your road to Menards.
Oh.
It's on about 77th and
I knew
Nicollet.
I fucking knew.
And
was
I
the
believe it's
bit.
the old location of the old Chi-Chi's, right?
It is.
The
Yep,
old
the old
Chi-Chis.
Chi-Chis.
Hey,
Yep.
don't get Russell too excited about old Chi-Chis.
Great nachos.
That's our next episode. We're going to be focusing on that aspect. Let's just put it that way.
Chi-Chis. But here's what you do. You either get one or two of those totes, right, that you can carry. And you say, whatever I can fit into this one, you can be two, but, try to do it down to one. Whatever I can hold into one or two of these totes,
They can come with.
that can come with. Because you always have room to store that stuff, right? And so, all of these old
Why is Rob thinking so funny? I don't know what's going on.
old Chi-Chis. Russell's got a thing for old Chi-Chis.
Old Chi-Chis.
Not wrong.
You know what?
How How about your little league sports pictures, like your team pictures
Keep
from
them.
little league?
Go right.
Keep. They take up no space.
They stack really well with your yearbooks.
Russell, when I think about those old GGs, I'm like, it's not about the dust on the bottle. It's about what's inside. You know what I mean?
You're thinking about those Raisin Ranchers, right?
Might be
okay.
dust on the
I got a few more for you guys.
Oh,
How
actually,
about-
Russell, I'm going to push next on your interpreter here. I want to see what you said next year.
Okay.
I have tried to put it in the sun more, but I overdid it. I hear the nachos are good here.
All right. So you tried to put it in the sun more, but you overdid it. And then you went right to the nachos. I think that's smart. I think that's a good tactic.
Here'll be an interesting one. This might prompt a discussion. How about old baseball cards, old basketball cards, old sports cards? Throw them, keep a select few. What do you do?
You get that down to like 50. The 50 you want, like a Kirby Puckett and some Kevin Garnett's or something, whatever you want to keep. But there's no reason to have a Sid Bream 1992 Pittsburgh Pirates card sitting around anymore.
What if it's Topps?
Nope. No good.
I cannot talk cards. I just can't do it.
How about this one then, Rob? A taxidermied fish.
Oh, Russell.
Is it yours?
No.
It was
Is it a
fish
family?
that I caught, and
Yep.
my
Me
family
to the
years ago
river.
got mounted for me as a memento of a fishing night we had. Christmas gift. They mounted these fish for me.
Wow.
Taxidermied fish. Do they come with? Where do
Yes.
they go?
Is it hanging up right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go in the
Russell,
I can go somewhere. Yeah.
You have to take that. When I first moved in with my wife, I had a fake moose head. It was a doll of a moose, but I had it hung up. And guess what? I fucking hung that shit up in our apartment. You know why, Russ? It was a display of my power. Okay. It showed everybody that I was still in charge of things. Okay. And guess what? If I want to put towels in the sink after I take a shower, that's fine. And if I ask you to make me a sandwich before I go to bed, that's actually a nice thing to do to people, is make them a sandwich and not just talk about the crumbs.
Final couple digging through a junk box. A Jesse Ventura for Governor bumper sticker.
Oh yeah, he obviously keeps
yeah.
Keep it. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
I mean, we
Russell fit it in one tote. You
If
need
you're not
one
gonna
tote
keep it, you
here,
better send it to
Russell.
me,
This is a
Russell.
one tote move. This is all right.
Yeah.
This is okay.
How about the last one on my list?
Wait.
Oh,
I found, before you do that, I just found,
Yeah.
I'm going to push next on your translator. I just want to see what else it said on it.
Okay.
Have you seen my laptop? Also, how old are you?
Wow. You're cutting right to the heart of things.
I'll tell you guys offline afterwards why we didn't go on a second date. Last one on my list. Rob said he has a specific tote just for his Halloween costumes. One of my best Halloween costumes is a Ric Flair costume, a Nature Boy robe, the wig and everything. What happens to the Ric Flair costume?
keep.
Keep
that.
it.
You got to keep
Yeah,
it.
none of these
I mean-
things should you be throwing out.
Let me just ask you this, Russell. If you could have sex with Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, would you?
I got 6 letters for you, Rob. Woo! All right, so I think I got a lot of good advice from you guys. I feel like I've already thrown half of it away, but rolling going, Rob. How's it going with you?
Listen, I had an accident the other day, and I got to talk to you guys about it. And you're not going to want to talk to me about this, okay? But I've
Is that
never
why you
done
don't
this
have pants
before.
on?
Not about half. And it's never happened to me before. And I was instantly befuddled, and I instantly thought of you, and then I instantly thought about why I thought about you guys. Is that I was going to the bathroom, right? So I was doing the above the boxers move, right? I think we can all agree that's the move, right? Or are we going through the slot?
I go through.
Going through the slot, Aaron? What are we doing?
Above.
We make it a jailbreak, or are we
yeah.
hopping out of the bucket?
I hop over, yeah.
Hopping over? Matt, what do you think?
I don't know if I've ever gone through the slot.
Going through the slot? I don't know,
Never
man.
gone through the slot.
Russell, I
Yeah,
think
I've
you're
never thought of
on
that.
your own going through the... You know what, Russell, though? I might start going through the slot. I might do it in solidarity with you. I might switch it up a little bit. Guys, this week, should we all try going through the slot? Should we all try making a jailbreak?
Yep.
All right,
I'll try
jailbreak
it.
week. Solidarity. And everybody, all of our guy friends listening out there, try doing a week of jailbreaking. Let's see what happens. And so I'm over the top, though, right? And then somehow I need to look. Oh, yeah. They were out of my boxers, but yet under my jeans. Like my jeans were just a little bit lower, but not all the way down. So I had the whole thing out, all 3 parts out, right? Over my boxers.
The twig and the berries?
Yes. And the berries were under the jeans. So then when I was done, I yanked up on the boxers. Well, here's the problem with that.
Oh, no.
The jeans do not give. Okay? I was instantly to my knees. Devastated. Never have I gone from a feeling so good to a feeling so bad so quickly. It messed me up. Don't know what to do. Down. Just like,
Was the zipper involved at all? Was there
no
any-
zipper. It was literally just
Okay.
like, think about like, I don't know what, like you're shoving an orange to the end of a sock. I mean, that's what it felt like. You know what I mean?
Like if someone put a Kimura on your junk.
Oh, it was. It was like an arm bar. It was a scrotum bar. Oh. It hurt bad.
Was this at work? Was this at home? Where was this?
It was at home. It was at home. So it was like, I don't know. I mean, and I know what you're asking. Why are you wearing pants? You're at home. Yeah, I get it. I don't know. Good question.
Don't you hate pants? That's a Barry from
I
Burns
do.
will always ask.
The guys think it's very funny because I'm wearing a fancy colored shirt and I stand up in my boxers. They think
It
they
is a
just get
good
a kick out of that.
question, Rob. Like, what percentage of the time when you're at your house, what percentage
Zero.
of the time are you wearing pants?
Zero. They're
Zero.
all like I'll start unbuttoning them in the hallway. I'm serious.
Like,
I've started taking off my
right.
shoes in the elevator up to my apartment. Like I start bending over and untying my shoes. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Maximum relaxation mode. Are you wearing pants in your house, Russell?
Typically I'll be more comfortable if I'm in the house, but maybe that's a good question. Maybe if I'm going to have a new roommate, what is the minimum amount of time that there needs to be pants?
5%.
5.
To your house, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your house
Matt,
too.
what percentage of the day are you wearing pants at the house?
I mean, a lot. I think, but I got like nice sweatpants. It's not like I'm wearing jeans or anything. I'm just wearing something comfy. So I wear shorts a lot, boxers
I would
and
find-
shorts. Just to,
I found, Matt, you want pants that have a lot of give in the waist, just in case. You want something that's nice and elastic,
yeah.
just in case you need to give
Not
very
going to
quickly.
give you a scrotum bar.
It was a nut guillotine. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the album.
It's time
Oh, is this a music
Led
podcast?
Zeppelin?
the show. Let's talk about the album.
Getting the lead out?
Oh, yeah.
How many Led Zeppelin albums have we done now?
Well, we did
It's a
4.
lot, right?
And we did. Matt, would you say we
1,
did
right?
1?
We've done.
One,
would you say we
3,
did
and
2?
4, 1, 3, and 4,
I would
and then
say
now this
4.
is the 4th one.
Yeah, I would say,
Well, we
no,
did 4,
No, Aaron,
but-
we did 4.
But what about, did we do 3?
Well, if we've done 4, we've obviously done 3.
We must have
Nope,
done
we
that
didn't
too.
do
Then.
3.
No, we did 2, yeah.
We did not do 3.
No, we've done 4.
You're correct.
Yeah, more
and
than
we've
3. And
done 1.
that
and we've
joke
done 1.
sadly ends today with our physical graffiti joke. But we'll always have physical grazie. I think that's a joke that will live
this
forever.
Is number 4. This is number 4, Russell. We've done Led Zeppelin 4 at 58, Led Zeppelin at 101, Led Zeppelin 2 at 123.
Mm-hmm.
This is 144. There's a 5th one, House of the Holy at 278, just as a quick breakdown.
So,
At least House of the Holy has Fool in the Rain on it.
House of the Holy is before this album. So this basically it was released in 1975. This is a double disc, okay? Double disc. This would take up 2 spots in Russell's move. And this really is the album that a lot of people point to and say, this is Led Zeppelin's apex of creativity and then wanting to be like I don't know, they were a rock band before, but now they're getting into like Pink Floyd, like grandiose.
I mean, employing some it's like conversing with prog rock.
Yeah. And the thing is that like they've always had these long songs, obviously like Stairway to Heaven. But this one, they just seem to do that all over the place. And so this is a new material and some of it is, they didn't quite have enough to do a double album. So they got a lot of old songs that they had recorded and stuck it onto the back of this album. And I think that's why the back of this album is objectively the weakest part. And so basically this was released. It was a late release because the cover of the album, it was hard to make. It was some fancy like multi-layer thing. And because of that, it got really, really hyped in the US. Pre-sales were through the roof. This album debuted at number 1. It sold 16 million copies. It's Led Zeppelin's best-selling album, which is wild to me that this is Led Zeppelin's best-selling album. And basically, like, this is the one where people were like, oh, they're not just a rock band, they're like a real band. So let's get into
You think the delay is like when we don't get our podcasts up right away on Tuesdays and people start getting excited for it, Rob?
Yeah, they think like, oh, finally it's over. I don't have to listen to this anymore.
They
And
were like,
pretend.
no, 4 p.m. on Tuesday Easter time, and it's there.
Listen, we haven't missed a Tuesday yet, Russell, and we never will. That's a guarantee. Custard pie.
It's on the box.
This got all the way up to number 1 on the Billboard 200. That's wild, isn't it? There's some funky organ on this album, guys.
Who's playing
JPJ,
it?
right?
I would say this is a good starter, Russell. I think you get the sense of the album right away.
Yeah.
I think it's a good starting song.
Next up, okay, it's a song about his dog, the Rover.
You know what I thought of this song? It sounds like a great villain song, like in a video, not a video
Yes.
game song, but like it sounds like something a villain in a movie would kind of be the vibe it gives off.
If
right?
you walked out to this as a wrestler, you'd be
Badass.
like kissing your opponent's girlfriend and stuff. Like, can you still do that? Should I say that? That doesn't seem right. Don't do that, everybody. Even if you're a villainous wrestler,
If you're a wrestler, don't do that.
don't do that.
This album's from
I hear like
75?
Ozzy, who did
Yes.
we just cover?
Sabbath, yeah.
It feels like they, throughout their careers, they've always been thought of a band that's just stealing other people's material.
What?
And I hear nothing but like the early rock and roll, deep, heavy sounds on this album. And it's like a complete change from 1 through 4 for me.
Yeah.
And it feels like, Ozzy Osbourne came out, Black Sabbath came out, some of those other bands, and all we got to start sounding like this is how we're going to progress. And so I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me.
Is this post Black Sabbath? When was that?
Yeah, Black Sabbath was 72 or whatever.
Oh my God,
71.
you're right. I mean, that's undeniable that they were listening to Sabbath.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Totally.
It's just-
God, that's so good, man. Nice pull. In My Time of Dying, this was a song that Bob Dylan had on his debut album. But it was a change of tempo and dynamicism that you hear a lot on this album. Listen to this, where he comes in.
When did Kiss come out? When was Kiss's that? Were they later?
This one was almost too hectic for me. I think it's the slide guitar just over and over. It almost just beats you into submission, right? And is this the 11-minute song?
Yep, and then it speeds up. I mean, listen to this though, Russell. I texted you guys. I said this album I think is going to break me. But then you hear parts like this, and you're like, oh my God, this is what
Rob,
I fucking want.
I wrote in my notes to me, this is so hectic, it's exhausting. I need a break after listening to this song.
Yeah.
It was just exhausting for me. Maybe that's like part of the charm or part of what makes it great.
Well-
but it definitely evokes a feeling, doesn't it?
This is a great live song.
Yes.
They're a jam band kind of at heart, so.
And to that point, they kept this part in. Now, I want you to listen because there's going to be a little pause here. They finish the song, and then you hear John Bonham cough, and Robert Plant sings cough because they wanted to show that most of this album was recorded live. Now, some of the slide guitar has been overdubbed. A lot of these songs had overdubbed guitar, but most of this is them jamming live and recording it, which just it's mind-blowing. But listen to this. Here's a little pause here, and you can hear Bonham.
Well, no one gets that far. It's 10:55 into the song.
But it's just so great that he does that and you hear cough. Like Robert Plant, he's always like so melodic. I don't know. I would think, by this time, they've been working together years. Like I would think working with 3 other guys for that many years, you just get sick of each other. God, you get so fucking sick of each other. Oh my God.
I'm at 2.2 years with this group of guys I know. I can't stand it.
It's just
2.2
like
years. I'm over the
everything-
limit.
After a while,
Led
everything
Zeppelin,
they
the first
say, you're
album
like,
came out
let me
in
talk.
69. So, they were together a couple years before that, but, they're essentially 7-8 years into their time together.
That seems like a
So how
long
long
time.
did they stay together
geez,
after
I can't
this?
imagine.
Well, Bonham dies in 79 to 80, right? And then Led Zeppelin's albums released are actually really sad because they've got one in 82 called Coda, which is, I think, all this unrecorded stuff. And then all of a sudden they have another one in like 2007 2010, 2012, and you can just see them be like, we need just a little more money. Give us a little more money. Come on, we're Led Zeppelin. We've earned it.
It looks like there's 2 albums after this, one in 76, one in 79, in Through the Outdoor in 1979. So it sounds like there's only 2 more albums after this that are actual.
I think this is the last truly great album from Led Zeppelin. I don't think we're going to hear too many more on the list.
Rob, do you think Jimmy Page's roommate ever asked him to throw away his baseball cards?
Well, he's British. I don't know if British people are way into baseball.
What?
Like, Pip, I have an 87 Kent Herbeck. You know what I mean? Oh, I have the fuckhead card from the guy from the Orioles. All right.
Billy Ripken.
That's
Billy Ripken.
Billy Ripken. That's my extent of my knowledge.
Fuckhead card?
Fuckface.
The fuckface.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Out of the bat.
So good. This one, think of a joke. It's Russell's underwear, Houses of the Holy. I don't know. It's so hard doing a podcast, guys.
Definitely know this song. This is where, I don't know if this is the beginning of side 2.
Yep, it is.
If you do the album, this side 2, this song, Trampled Underfoot and Cashmere.
Killer.
That's got to be one of the best sides of an album in the history of music, right?
Totally. I mean, it's incredible. That's the thing is you get to this part of the album, you're like, dang, this is just cruising and rocking. They recorded this whole song, no overdubbing, live in the studio. That's wild. It's like perfect. And then next up, we have Trampled Underfoot. We got JPG, John Paul Jones, on the clavinet. This was played at every live show post 75.
This song's fantastic. We discussed this, guys. If you remember, we did the best clavinet songs ever. Some of the other ones we talked about was Billy Preston, Outer Space. We did, it was on the Talking Book episode when we talked about Superstition. Shaka Khan, Tell Me Something Good. Edgar Winter Group, Rob. Remember them? The scariest dude ever.
Even Tom Petty was like, damn, those guys got to get out in the sun.
Parliament, Getting Up on the Downstroke, Rob. I think I maybe sent you a time cue for this. If you want to, we got to check out this clavinet solo. It's so good. That is a jam, isn't it?
So
it's pretty Worrell.
This is the bummer, is that John Paul Jones hates these guys and he's still alive. He doesn't tour with them. You could have 3/4 of Led Zeppelin still together. And they just don't do it. It's such a bummer to me.
I guess, there's no bass playing in this part, right? He's doing the bass with his.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I love John Paul Jones. He's so good. By the way, Trampled Underfoot, I was going to make a joke about getting your testicles stepped on, but you guys knew that already. So let's just pass it. Can you just imagine I made that joke? Should we make it a bit? Let's make it a bit today. How about this? Something with my jeans and boxers and the foot, and I paid somebody to do it. Whatever. Okay, just think about it. Okay, is that a bit we can just manufacture? A podcast is hard. It's hard to do this.
There's a lot of low-hanging fruit here, but I'm just not.
That was my problem.
Yeah.
If you get too old and it hangs too low and you trample on it with your foot, you've got a problem.
Yes, and that's why the only underwear I wear now is made out of cashmere.
I call that a transition in the business, a transition.
The guitar riffs are in triple meter and the voice is in quadruple meter. Now, I know what that means, but Aaron, can you, explain to these dummies out there what that means?
Aaron, put that away when you're talking about your meter stick. Put it away.
It means that you've got 2 instruments playing in different time signatures, and so the times are sometimes going to line up and sometimes they're not. And
you can hear the guitar go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, something. Oh my God.
Yeah. Sometimes his voice is with the guitar, sometimes not. Rhythmic.
Matt, this definitely feels though, you hear this song on an album in 75 or whenever this was, you have to call someone, right?
Yeah, like this, but this feels like old or original Led Zeppelin to me. This feels like the stuff that they grew up with. But yeah.
Can I tell you guys a sick secret?
Yeah.
I have always hated this song. I have always hated this song. I cannot stand it. I
hate it?
I click next every time it comes up, and every one of Led Zeppelin says this is their best song. They love this song. They think it's the height of Led Zeppelin. I've never been able to stand it. I don't know what it is.
The height, because it's not Bonham's most fun work, but
can I tell you guys a sick secret?
Yeah.
The reason I know this song is because it was on the Godzilla soundtrack with Puff Daddy. Come with me.
Yes.
That song is no joke.
Did you give me a time cue on this, Russell?
Yeah, Rob, if you go to 7:35, go to the end of this. This is where we don't, Bonham is so good, and you kind of almost take him for granted. You forget it, but like, you listen to the end of this, like it just blew me away. Check this part of the drumming out at the end. What? That doesn't even feel like a human sound, does it? It feels like a train or something.
So good. Well, you know what he's got attached to the drums there?
What is it?
It's a phaser. It's a phaser you can put on things that it gives that sound of like that kind of that. Jimi Hendrix uses a lot on his drums too. So even right now, Russell, on the podcast, I'll put a phaser on my voice right now, and I'm talking to you with a phaser. Now you talk. You have a phaser.
I have a phaser.
Yeah, and I'm hoping I can find the phaser sound effect on a GarageBand, because if I can't, this is all getting edited out. So next,
thrown away like my CDs and cards and everything else that had to get thrown away. I guess, huh? What
are you?
Feels like you're not talking to us anymore.
Yeah.
No.
I have a better question, Russell. Whose silverware are you going to use? That is what I always wonder when two people are getting together, because I would be very pissed off if I had to throw away my silverware. I could not use it. If I did not have my own silverware, it would not feel like my house. Whose
How about you,
silverware?
Matt, what happened with your silverware?
Well, we got married, right? So like for 6-8 months, we kind of just had a smorgasbord of silverware, but eventually then, you register and get it. So
you both threw away silverware eventually.
Eventually, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we're talking too early here, but I mean, there's ways to get around this.
Aaron, how about you?
I don't think I had any of my own silverware when we got started, so it was just ours. It was always ours.
Now listen, I know for a fact that if we go to Russell's silverware drawer right now, over under 8.5 pieces of silverware total in Russell's house right now.
Over
8.5? No way. Guys, you think he has 3 sets of knife, fork, and spoon? No way.
Yeah, you're way off, Rob.
Russell, how much silverware you got right now?
If I were to pair a knife, fork, spoon, and just make sets of 3.
No, I want to know like a spoon is one, a knife is one, a fork is one. I say 8.5.
It's the same math.
Over 8.5 sets?
No, over 8.5 total things that you can hold on to.
Spoon counts as one.
God
damn
it.
I would say in the 40 to 50 range.
That's too much. Why do you have that much? I would never let you move in with that much silver. What the fuck are you doing? You don't even have a table. How do you have that much silverware? Russell, are you stealing from work? Is that what you're doing? You're stealing silverware from work? That's incredibly too much silverware, Russell. You're asking us about,
so it doesn't really matter. He's stealing from himself.
You took 2 minutes to ask us about a bumper sticker, and you have 50 pieces of silverware that you're bringing? That's wild. That's
I didn't say I was bringing them. I'm saying that's what I have.
Seems like one of those things, you got to get new plates every once in a while. You got to get new silverware every once in a while. This is a good time.
You know what you don't have to get new?
Refresh.
Mugs. The mugs in my house. If I showed you guys my mug, I bet I got 50 mugs. I bet I got one mug for every piece of silverware Russell has. The mugs are fucking in the thing.
Sarah's on a 1 in, 1 out. She brings a new one in. One of them's got to go.
Like Rob, just in case you have like a Tom and Jerry party or like a hot toddy party, you need all those mugs or what?
There's no way. We couldn't fit that many people in our apartment for how many mugs we have. Because now Jenny goes to the Nespresso store, buys Nespresso. Okay. And meanwhile, like the landfills are like crying. She's like, no, I'll just buy this espresso. And every time she goes, she gets multiple mugs that she gets for free. Oh. And I'm thinking to myself, how much is she spending where every month she's getting free mugs? And you know what all the mugs are? They're fucking ceramic. They're not even glossy. They're like the stuff you touch and it was like scrapey, scratchy against the skin. The worst. Now let's all hear this hit Led Zeppelin song. In the Light? What's your favorite Led Zeppelin song?
This is a good song. This is a good song. Doesn't start out great. It ends really good.
It's got a chant, drone intro.
This sounds like a 70s song.
Descending guitar, made me think of Elton John. Like I kept thinking, this sounds like an Elton John song.
Jimmy Page has often said this is his favorite song on the album. I tend to agree. I like it.
I don't like the way some of these songs are produced. I think it's too muddy for me. It's got that Rolling Stones Main Street thing. I don't know.
That's what happens when you're trying to do everything live without, So,
Matt,
that's what you're going to get.
You just made a good point.
That'd be like Rob saying one of the Bob Dylan podcasts we did was his favorite episode we've ever done. No one thinks that.
Highway to the Danger Zone. I remember Highway to the Danger Zone, whatever that one was our first true bomb. And we did it, and we did it. And then I edited it, and I was like, what the fuck? It was like 10 in, and I was like, this is terrible. I was like, we have run out of ideas. Little did I know that I would cinch my nuts in my pants and give us hours of content and possibly up to 2 parody songs. Okay, praying the next artist has a song about nuts. Like, oh, come on. The squirrel nut zippers, please. It makes so much sense.
The chronic brought it all back, didn't it, Rob?
We need some more dragons. We need some dragons and some.
I mean,
dragon.
Well, that would match my philosophy. Feel how soft these nuts are. All right, next one, Aaron. What's this next song called?
Brownie Hour.
Nailed it, Aaron. You're so smart. This is a very cool. If you were like, hey, I wish this album would have a long acoustic instrumental. Well, guess what? You're in luck. It's got a long acoustic instrumental.
But this wasn't actually out of character for albums of this time period. Other artists would do this.
Kind of beautiful. I like it. I think it's a good change up.
I'm enjoying it.
All right, maybe I don't know. I need more rock in my life, I think. You know what it is? It's the end of the school year. Can't be listening to slow songs like this at the end of the school year. I need to always be on my guard. Okay? Because I got a text the other day from my boss that said, you're fired. And I wrote back LOL, and I'm hoping that buys me a little time.
Did you say, can I keep the computer so I can change my sound bites?
I thought it was...
Can I keep the computer, please?
Don't open up highway to the danger zone .wave. Final. Why? Because it's your podcast? You've been trying to keep secret? No, it's our worst episode. It was a BOMB bomb. I remember that really affected me. I was like, I'm devoting so much of my life to this, and this episode sucks.
And now,
which episode was this? I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Bob Dylan one that's titled something
Highway 65 or
to the danger zone.
What's called?
Gotcha.
did we
That's when I still came
twice?
It was like a 2-hour, just a slog.
Just a terrible, just off. Do not go back.
Like zero jokes.
Zero.
And all. It was brutal.
See, I'm hoping if we talk about it enough, like all of a sudden you're going to see this spike when you're looking at your analytics or whatever, and some Bob Dylan. So I would challenge everybody, go out and listen to it. Go listen to
spike
it.
up, and then we'll see how
good we've gotten since, you know.
The best part is Aaron, I think, had a fixed up microphone at that point. That's the only reason that you might want to check it out.
I don't know if he had a real microphone.
Probably not.
Listen, next up, my favorite Led Zeppelin song, Down by the Seaside? What? Yeah, this is the Queen one, isn't it? I go down to the seashore. This is the 1920s. I want to walk with you. You're my baby. You're my baby. That was that Queen one.
Okay. Something like that.
You guys did not like my Queen.
Sounds like they might be giants.
I think one of the reasons you like it, Rob, is that guitar effect. And that's called a tremolo, I was reading. It changes the volume of your signal at a certain speed and depth.
Do you think it could be a tremolo?
We're going to get
tremolo,
some Wilco involved.
it's often confused, Rob, with a vibrato, which changes the pitch of the signal.
Oh.
But so I thought that was a pretty cool.
That's so weird. Why would my wife have bought a vibrato? I found the box in the garbage the other day. She bought a vibrato. That's so strange. And you know who was on the cover of it? This was the weird part. It was Lenny Kravitz. Oh. Maybe that's it. It's a guitar thing. She got us a vibrato from Lenny Kravitz.
A vibrato.
Yeah.
Anyways, I started thinking, man, that's
Are you going to come my way, by the way? That would be the tagline, just to let you know.
Oh.
What?
On the Lenny vibrato?
On the Lenny Kravitz vibrato. Womp. And it have a setting where when you turn it on, it go womp, 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 doo 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 doo. Like anybody uses those settings. Like anybody wants to one, it's like, hey, I wish my vibrato would go like a car alarm. Oh, I love this. I mean, it's like a telegram machine. Finger to the. How are you doing? Uh-oh, SOS. Signaling SOS. Sir, something's going down. If I'm lucky, whoa.
How is this still going?
This ends the Lenny Kravitz vibrato bit. Thank you.
Well, that ends the Lenny vibrato bit, but this also starts the list of the greatest songs ever featuring a tremolo. Is that how it's pronounced?
Or
I think we keep calling it tremolo until Magic Mike 69 calls it and says,
Some people would say tremolo. I don't know, actually. I don't know why I think it's tremolo. Do you know what it is, Aaron?
The tremolo. Well, Russell's going to tell us.
King size Rolo.
Modulation
That sounds
effect, changing the volume of your signal at a certain speed and depth. We've heard this before in a few songs. Gimme Shelter had one. Radiohead used them a lot. Born to Run used one. Aretha, Chain of Fools, Pink Floyd, Money.
Okay.
And one of Aaron's favorites, it didn't make the list because we've already talked about it once, but Nancy Sinatra's Bang Bang. First song on the list, we're going to go way back. One of the earliest songs in rock to use a tremolo. Tremolo?
Hey,
Rolo?
whatever you're feeling.
I'm going to say tremolo.
Tremolo. One of the earliest songs to use a tremolo from 1958. The song is called Rumble from Link Ray. You guys know this one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of
Oh,
course.
yes. It feels like a Tarantino film right away.
Can I tell you guys a dirty secret? This is the song I play when I'm making love.
It is. Oh, let's get ready to rumble.
I don't know. It's kind of a sexy song if you think about it, or it's a very scary song. But you can hear that, can't you? That vibration.
That really influenced actually Jimmy Page. He said he was a huge influence on him. Someone else that influenced was Pete Townsend. He said, if it wouldn't have been for Link Ray and Rumble, I would have never picked up a guitar. So I think that sound definitely had a big impact on some of the biggest guitar players that influenced rock, right?
Independence Day, Blow, Road Racer, Pulp Fiction. That was just a couple of the movies that thing's been.
You
in so
know it
many
immediately,
movies.
don't you?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from 1974, that song.
1958.
1958?
Yeah.
Oh.
Next song on the list is just going to...
Now, Russell, listen, now, I don't want to cause trouble and I don't want to slow anything down, but...
Tell me I'm wrong.
Do you like that, that song is from 1958? Do you like that?
I'm just saying there's opportunities out there. Hey, someone makes me throw away too many of my baseball cards.
Oh, jeez.
All I have is this Honus Wagner.
Is there gum in those cards? Next song on the list is from 1964. I don't know if we've ever covered this artist before. We've definitely covered the song. The song is Mona. The artist is Bo Diddley. Check this out.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
Jimmy Page said some of the biggest artists that influenced him. We talked before about how they've taken a lot of influence or just stolen stuff before, but he said Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley were two of the ones that really influenced him. I think you hear that kind of I don't know if you call wobbling or underwater noise. I don't know how you describe it, Rob, but
I could see that, and you see like Tony Danza in the background, like nodding knowingly, like,
yeah,
this is a great idea. Like, I like this.
Next song on the list is from 1966. So this one is still before this album. I think Matt might like this one. This is Buffalo Springfield. The song is For What It's Worth.
Oh, so good.
Oh, right.
Anthem of a generation.
I did a report to this song in school where we had to pick a song and dissect the lyrics. And I was like, and I was giving my speech. I'll never forget. I was giving my speech. And I was like, summertime in, what is it? What a summer for the heat, right? And I was like, well, 1968 was a famously hot year. And I'll never forget because Kristen Julesrud, who ended up going to St. Olaf, was like, don't you think heat means the cops? And I was like, for those of you at home, my eyes got real big. I was like, huh? Because you just know she's right, but you can't admit it because you were supposed to have researched for the speech. What a bummer.
What a jerk to call you out in front of the class like
the whole
that.
class, jeez.
I know.
So
and
that
then
is-
you know what happened then? When she called me out and embarrassed me publicly.
What'd you do?
I was rock hard. Immediately.
R-H-E.
R-H-E. And the rest of the song's good too. I gotta go. The one time I did want to tuck it in my waistband. You know what I mean? What?
When you had the R-H-E up on stage?
Yeah, I was like, it's almost up to my waistband. I can almost get it up there.
Oh, God.
What? What?
So I don't get like, so you're at work and you're wearing pants and you go over the top.
No, I don't go over the top of the pants. The pants are open. It's like a tent. The pants is open. I'm out of the tent in that sense. But I'm in the sleeping bag. I just pull it out of the sleeping bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my understanding is Buffalo Springfield had Stephen Stills and Neil Young. Is that right, Matt?
Yep.
And so Stephen Stills wrote that, but Neil Young actually played with Led Zeppelin at their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction.
Oh, wow.
And he played When the Levee Breaks with them when they got inducted.
Oh,
and at the end of that song, Robert Plant played a tribute to Buffalo Springfield and Neil Young. They played a bit of that for what it's worth at the very end of their induction into the Hall of Fame, which I thought was really cool. And Neil Young said that Jimmy Page is one of the few guitarists to kind of like make him feel like an amateur. He said, I feel like a hack compared to him. He can really play.
Hey, Russell, I swore to God, I thought that bit was going to end with Beck also coming out and playing with them. I was like, this is a Beck bit. He's bringing up no.
Speaking of trying, I'll try to do the fourth song on this list. This is from 1985. We did the Smiths once before, didn't we? The Smiths?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
The Smiths.
I don't think we covered this song, though. I could be wrong. The song is How Soon Is Now. The tremolo on this is out of this world.
And it like is back and forth in the headphones. Shit.
Isn't that badass?
That's pretty sweet. R.I.P. Andy Rourke just died this week. He's their bassist for the Smiths. Another song that everybody knows. You just know this song from, it's been in so many things. But
it feels like something, it might be on the Wedding Singer soundtrack, I think, right?
Yeah,
it was in the 80s. It was from the 80s. It was on The Wedding Singer.
Johnny Marr, we were talking about Bo Diddley earlier. He definitely was heavily influenced by the Bo Diddley song that we were listening to earlier, that kind of back and forth. I don't know what, that shuffle or swing, I don't know what you'd call it, but he was definitely influenced by that. So I thought it was cool. Last song on the list, this is one of Matt's favorites. I got to make sure I get some from Matt. This is from 2004. Heavily tremolo on this one too. It's Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day.
Absolutely hear it right away, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I walk a lonely road,
and I really love President Bush. He's not actually that bad. I cannot think I'll ever do a whole album where I say something else and then turn it into a musical. But that's not selling out for some reason. Oh no, those lyrics. I love that sound, Russell. That tremolo is so good.
Good start to the song, yeah.
I think Green Day is heavily influenced by more punk bands like the Ramones, is what I was reading. But he said when he grew up, he was really exposed to a lot of Led Zeppelin. So I find it hard to believe that there wasn't some influence there, right?
Yeah,
Russell,
absolutely.
That was you know what? That was easy, a top 5 list, I would say.
A top 5 list of what? A tremolo.
Tremolo.
That was
Tremolo.
And I'll tell you what, I'm going to find a tremolo sound effect and put it on my voice right now. That was a top 5 list, Russell. Wah, 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 wah. All right. Next up.
Wait, was that the sound effect?
Wah, 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 wah. So listen, who do you think? Oh, we already played Down by the Seaside, didn't we? Shit.
Hey, your favorite.
By the way, who do you think influenced this sound? Listen to this. Listen to Down by the Seaside again. Who do you think influenced this?
Neil Young.
This is Neil Young. Yeah, they said it was totally a Neil Young song. They just basically ripped it off. Now, he did not sue them, unlike a story coming up. Next up, 10 Years Gone. When they would play this in concert, he would play a 3-neck guitar that had a 12-string, a 6-string, and a ukulele to get this sound. All right, not ukulele, a mandolin.
Just trying to figure out how that would work.
Rob, if you could get that correct, it's a mandolin, right?
Yeah, a mandolin. Like in my kitchen.
Mandolin. It's a mandolin.
Mandolin.
That was one of my favorite Star Wars. The mandolin.
Rob, if you played a triple neck guitar when you were in college, how much action would you have gotten?
Oh, if I would have shown up my freshman year of college with a giant triple neck guitar and a huge amplifier to put into a tiny dorm room, I bet living with me was awesome. Oh, what's that? My roommate is, I thought about that because the other day I said, who the fuck would have drums in there? I had a bass guitar in my freshman room for a while that I would just play loud. I remember once during, there was study hours, and then during there's that 1 hour where you didn't have to be quiet during finals. And I would crank up my bass speakers as loud as I can and just play it. And instantly, 30 seconds, somebody came in and is like, can you turn that off? And I was like, what? It's loud hour. And they're like, no, it's not loud hour. It's just don't have to be quiet hour. That doesn't mean we have to be loud. And I was like, Oh, I'm a shithead. I remember thinking that, like, oh, I'm a really bad person. Nobody liked that.
Is that when were you living with Jeff from Rochester?
No, that was with Nick.
Okay.
From God
Did
knows
Nick
where.
make you throw away your Jesse Ventura bumper stickers?
Nick didn't throw away much. I'll just say that. Nick was picking up first day pamphlets the last day of school. So Nick's main thing was not throwing stuff away.
Rob, can you go to like...
We both had marked casual on the sheet, so we tricked each other. It was the worst.
Can you go to like 30 seconds into this song? I want to ask Matt. I hear Pearl Jam in this song. Do you hear it or no?
I can see what you're hearing. I don't know if I would necessarily agree, but
Listen to Daughter tonight. You'll hear it exactly.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Russell with the
Hot take.
hot take.
The other thing I heard, go to 230 and here, see if you hear this one.
Okay, wait a minute.
that's the Beatles.
I heard Band on the Run.
That's Wings. Yeah.
Oh, my God. You guys are listening to this album way more closely than I am.
Yeah, definitely.
So I read that Wings was in 73, so it's about the same time, but Led Zeppelin took a few years to record all this stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know which one came first, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just hearing things.
Well, I don't get how this song is about professors. I mean, their tenure's gone. Oh, boy.
That would suck.
That would be bad.
Hey, don't mess with a teacher. Talk about that
Yeah.
tenured, right, Rob?
The Wonton song. No.
Night Flight.
God damn it. Okay. Night Flight. Doesn't it sound like they're just drifting now? Am I wrong?
It
Anybody?
starts to sound like Boston to me. Yeah, I mean, like the album's too long.
Now the Wonton song. I mean, this would be a great walkout song if you're a wrestler again. Like you come out to this.
Great villain song.
Great villain song. Believe it or not, they built this song around the riff. That might surprise you. Next up, Boogie with Stu. They were playing this with Ian Stewart from the Rolling Stones, the pianist. And it kind of blew my mind because, first of all, it's a bizarre. This is when it feels like this is just a dumping ground for their old stuff, right? Like this, is this a song?
They got to add they just need to add one or two to fill it out.
This is barely a song to me. Like a song that should be on an album. This is barely.
It sounds like a Django piano or a tack piano back then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's no way we've done a list on tack pianos, is there?
Oh, we have.
I'm sure we have.
That song was based on a song called Ooh My Head. Do you guys know who sang Ooh My Head?
Ooh.
Lionel Jefferson.
Richie Valens.
Oh.
This is fucking Richie Valens. Does that
Sounds great.
Does that blow your mind that that's Richie Valens?
Yeah, kind of.
Now wait a minute.
Oh boy.
Wait a minute.
Hello.
Hey, baby. This is the Big Papa speaking. I heard you playing one of my favorite albums by Richie Valens. Are you playing La Bamba? Huh? Is that La Bamba?
The other one. We're playing the other
that's
one.
the other one?
What song are they playing?
They were playing. They were playing "Ooh My Head," that famous Richie Valens songs, baby. Richie and I both had multiple hits that we like to sing about all the time, baby. Definitely not 2 songs in, and Buddy Holly had to come out and do 2.5 hours after that, baby. Oh yeah.
The Big Bopper. What would have happened if after you perished, all your baseball cards got thrown away? How would you have felt about that?
Oh, baby. I had the biggest collection of baseball cards you've ever seen, baby. I had Ken Herbeck. He played first base. And Kirby Puckett, something wrong with his face. I had Dennis Eckerly. He had a mustache now. And I also had something, Chuck Knobloch. I mean, you can there's lots of rhymes. All right, I got to go. Bye, everybody.
See you, Bopper.
Boy, that, you know what? It's getting strong again. That bit. It's coming back strong.
I would say killed it.
I would say it was a top 2 bit today.
Aaron, you're kind of quiet on Led Zeppelin. You've historically not been a huge fan of their albums. What do you think of this one?
I don't know. I don't know why this one isn't. And I've ragged on them for not using their own material, and then here they are writing original material. And I don't know why this album just doesn't grab me the same way that maybe
I'm going to say something right now. This is why. They have a fucking song on this album that they recorded outside. This is recorded. It starts with an airplane going overhead.
I was upset.
Black Country Woman. It's recorded outside. It sounds terrible.
Oh, there's the tack piano. There's no question there.
Why would you be recording outside? This sucks.
I guess because they could do whatever they wanted. Fired up.
This is the worst. Can't stand it. All right. Next up.
You think it sucks? Doesn't that just sound like any old Rolling Stones song to you?
I don't like it. It doesn't sound. I mean, these all are songs where they were like, hey, I got a drum beat and I've got a piano thing. Let's just put it on the album. You can just tell they're filling. It's album filler. Listen, I'm not going to be negative anymore. Nobody wants to hear me be negative. Sick Again. This is about their experience meeting groupies.
I got sick again when I had to throw my Billy Bass fish out last night.
Oh, no.
And there's something, I don't know, to me, maybe it's Rob's sound quality things. Like there's something thinner sounding about this.
Let's get into everybody's favorite part of the episode. It's the rating system. Oh, there's a bone on it. I forgot that was the icon. Every time it gets me.
Everybody's favorite part of the
Past Rob, you did it again. You made me laugh.
and very
Rob,
popular.
this one might be worse than Highway
Better
61.
rating system. Oh yeah.
Remember when you had no energy at the beginning of this one, and we said we'd be fine, we'd have a lot of fun.
Yeah. No,
I
you know what?
apologize.
The problem is I have a big bottle of pills that says, in case of episode worse than Highway 61, please open and ingest. So I got to see about this. Listen, is this album, Physical Graffiti? It's a double. It's a double from 75. Okay. Is this album, all right? Is this album, you know what? You just go to the bathroom. You don't even think about where things go. You just do it naturally. That's a rolling well-toned. It's perfect. Okay. Is this album, you're taking it out, you're putting it through the fly, everything's working great. Hey, guess what? It's a rolling bone. It should be higher up on the list, or in this case, a lower number, which of course we would have covered earlier with Highway 61, 1, 4, any albums like that, 1999. I mean, there's a lot of earlier albums that are higher on the list with lower numbers, and I think we all know what I'm talking about. Or is this putting your nuts over your boxers, getting them pinched between your jeans, and that is a definite rolling groan, okay? And also makes you think about how old you're getting. What would you say this album is? Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin. Russ, what do you think?
I don't know. I think it's too long. There's too many songs that are like, if you got an 11, 12-minute song, it can't make me want to turn it off. There are too many songs here that I was like, I don't need any more of this. Too many songs that just felt hectic and kind of disjointed to me. But this album does have Houses of the Holy, Trampled Underfoot, and Cashmere on one side of an album, one side of a record. You buy this album and it's got 4 sides and you get that on one of them.
Yep.
I don't see how you would ever be disappointed with that. So for me, I don't know if I'll come back and listen to it again. To me, this is a Winamp list. I'm taking 3 songs off this and I'm ditching the rest of them. So I'm going to say it's Rolling Groan, a little bit too high on the list, but those 3 songs are pretty epic. So still worth a listen.
I'll tell you what, and some of the other songs you don't know as well, you get to a couple parts, and you're like, damn, this is just flying. This is rocking. And then the next song starts with a 30-second chant, and you're like, oh, hard pass. Matt, what do you think?
I think it's Rolling Groaned. 4, what do we say, 5 albums? Is this 5 albums? No, this is the 4th.
No, this isn't
Led
4.
Zeppelin album.
This is the 6th.
It's not Led Zeppelin 4.
No. Who is it for, though, really, if you think about it?
Right. No, so I think it's Rolling Groan. I think, it should be on the list. To Russell's point, I think they've got good songs on this album, and that's why it's up there. I will add In the Light to one of my lists of songs, as I do like that to listen to that one again. I don't know if I'll listen to this whole album again. I'd much rather listen to 1, 2, and 4, I think, over this one. So I think they've got it right with the order of the albums, but all things considered, I think it should be lower on the list. And there's many more things that we haven't heard yet. We keep talking about that, beating that drum. And so, yeah, I think it's Rolling Groan.
I'd be high. That's 1, 2, 4. Rosie, what do you think? Rolling well-toned, Rolling Bone, or Rolling Groan?
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't put this one into words or reason why I don't enjoy it as much as the other Led Zeppelin albums that we've heard, and it's a lot of Zeppelin in the top wherever we are. And I think there's got to be some stuff we're about to hear or will eventually hear that's going to beat this one. And it's a little long, so I'm going to go with Matt. It's a Rolling Groan.
I got a bad feeling, guys, that in like 3 years, we're going to look back at this album just salivating, just being like, God, I wish I could listen to that album again. There's some real bangers on there. Not listen to these old Richie Valens. Now listen, unfortunately, you guys are incorrect. This gets a rolling double album incarceration.
Double album incarceration?
There is no such thing as a good double album. They should all be illegal. Nobody has ever made one. You come up with a double album, you should be arrested. There is no double album that could be not made into a better single album. Period. End of story. Don't want to do any research to look it up.
What about the White Album? I like the White Album. I'll take that double album any day.
You could make
all of those are
some of those you could make it a single. Some people would say that. Listen, next up. Okay. By the way, I wrote the second album on this makes me want to choke on my own vomit, but I'm not going to say that. Disrespectful to John Bonham. Next up. Now.
Oh, wow.
What? Next up. Now. I wish I could have heard.
And you got mad at me for going to the 27 Club in Florida in Fort Lauderdale, and you pull a joke like that.
I was furious with you, Russell. I was so goddamn mad. I slammed my hands on my counter. I said, kids, get in here. You're not going to believe what Russell did. He went to the 27 Club, and they said, what's that? And I said, well, that's the club where they have everyone who died when they're 27 on the wall.
Yeah.
My kids go, why would anybody ever go there? I said, I don't know. But he did. He went there and then he had a story about it. Why would anybody go to a place where people had just died? Makes no sense.
Robin, now I got a roommate.
What? Oh my God. Can you imagine when this roommate walks behind when we're recording? Ooh, 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 ooh. It sounds like it's going to be. This is my official declaration of Russell's roommate. I love it. Oh my God, I can't wait. Oh, it's going to be so good. Next up, I wish I could have heard what this M&M thought about that green M&M getting less sexy or whatever that thing was, the debate. Oh, guys, this is hard.
Oh, no.
It's the Marshall's Mathers LP.
The Marshall's Mathers.
Marshall's Mathers.
Did I pronounce that right? It's got a lot of tremolo in there. Wait, now I don't know how to say it.
If you want
tremolo.
Guys who chat and then they get off track, I've got the perfect podcast for you, Jack.
Beck did it better.
Actually, Russell, you know what's weird is I found your translator, and I just want to push play one more time.
One more time.
Okay? One more time. Let's see what it says. Maybe this time it'll be a normal date thing, I think.
Okay.
The espresso martinis here are good sometimes. I love your old chicais.
Oh, no, chicais.
Oh, Chi-Chis.
Why would it say chi for the first one?
Chicais.
Let me try that. Why would it
Hit
say
space and then S?
chi?
Yeah.
Why would it say chi for the first
I
one?
love your old chi-chi.
That sounds different. Singular sounds vulgar. Don't like that. All right.
Matt, you remember old Chi-Chis, don't you?
I remember old Chi-Chis.
Oh.
I love old Chi-Chis. It was great.
Chicais.
Meanwhile, Chichi Rodriguez is feebly putting his putter back into his sword teeth. Oh my God! Now those are some old
Chichi
Chi-Chis.
Rodriguez go through the hole or over the top?
He's got so much practice putting his sword into his.
See?
Stop. All right. Oh man.
Finally, a Chichi Rodriguez bit on the show.